Boom shakalaka, probably the biggest news for crypto payments since Twitter announced Lightning Network integration months ago. Today's video, we're going to take a look at exactly what that news is, plus why Bitcoin is aiming towards $100,000 for New Year's and $250,000 come mid-year. You'll definitely want to stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at the biggest news for Bitcoin and crypto payments coming out just today. Also, why Bitcoin is likely headed towards $100,000 by New Year's, and why it could go to $250,000 by the middle of the year. Before we get into it, guys, if you could just tap gently on that like button. Definitely don't nuke the shit out of it. Just a gentle tap on it helps out so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And also come join us over on Twitter, where every week we give away one of these sweet shirts. Now, today's video, we're going to get into this sweet chart right here. But before we do, it's good to kind of take an overall general look at where we are, because, you know, history does tend to rhyme with itself until it doesn't. So if we take a look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart, hey, we are in hodl territory right now, okay? You just put on your big boy hodl pants, you just sit, you just hodl, because guess what? The market's kind of moving sideways. We're not in sell territory. We're not in an insane fire sale territory yet. We're in hodl territory. So what do? You hodl and you look at some sweet charts like this one here. You see, this dip that we have here is not like the previous dips that we had previously. So even though it seems like, oh, this dip here is the same as this dip here, turns out it's not, because we have what's called on-chain metrics. And if it sounds cool, it's gotta be cool. So what's happening? Well, the dip previously in May, as you can see here, the exchange reserve increased. However, we just had a dip, but the exchange reserve is decreasing, meaning there's less and less Bitcoin available. And if we take a look at the supply shock valuation, Willy Woo has this model right here. Anytime that Bitcoin, the blue line, is under the red line, the supply shock valuation, guess what? It's a great buy opportunity. We could see here, you would have bought before price shot off, or back here, you would have bought before price shot off, or right here, you would have bought before price shot off, or right here, again, price shot off, or here, price shot off. Anytime it's below this red line, it's an amazing buy opportunity. Now, granted, it's a model for investors, not for traders who can easily be liquidated well before the model plays out. But if you're planning on buying Bitcoin spot, if you're not going 100x long on Bitcoin, well, it's probably going to work out really, really well for you. You just have to be a little bit patient. You have to put on your big boy hodl pants and just hodl. Now, that being said, you know, I said that history repeats itself, and history oftentimes does repeat itself. As a matter of fact, almost exactly repeating itself. TechDev says not betting on this time being different for Bitcoin until data suggests that it's a more probable outcome. Here's what he says. Each of these lines right here is the halving. So we have a peak in yellow, and we haven't had the peak of this halving yet, but we had peak, and then we have first peak, second peak, halving, third peak, pullback, boom, yellow. Okay, happen here. Peak, peak, pullback, halving, peak, yellow. Okay, now we had peak, peak, halving, bigger peak, guess what? Pullback towards the yellow in the $100,000 to $400,000 area. And not only does it show up here on the chart, but also on the RSI. We tapped this green line on 2-week RSI back here. Same thing that happened back here in 2017, back here in 2013. But we haven't tapped it a second time. You see, Bitcoin needs to double tap. Otherwise, the cycle is not over. We haven't double tapped. So, Bitcoin, let's get to that second tap, because later on in the episode, if you stay tuned till the end, I'm going to show you exactly when that second tap is going to happen. Now, right now, again, we're just being patient, watching this Bitcoin weekly pennant action. The most bullish moves often come from testing invalidation points. Nobody said it was easy. So you can see previously had a little bit of a wedge formation right here. Guess what? Once the RSI broke through and then bounced off, price shot up. Also with the stock RSI, again, price shot up. Well, we have another wedge right here. We have testing this weekly RSI, and guess what? Stock RSI could turn back up. So just a little bit of patience. I know it's hard, but you just be patient. Because what's happening in the news? Well, probably the biggest news since Twitter announced Lightning Network integration. I would say this is orders of magnitude larger than that Twitter news. Why? Well, Meta's or Facebook's WhatsApp will now allow crypto payments through Novi wallets in US. So a lot of you know and use WhatsApp. Now you can exchange cryptocurrencies to send and receive money through WhatsApp. Now, right now it's a pilot program open to a limited number of people in the US, but pilot programs oftentimes become actual legit programs. And why is this bigger than the Twitter news? Well, because of this. If we take a look at the most popular social networks in the world, WhatsApp is the third largest with 2 billion users. Where's Twitter? All the way down at the bottom, okay? 463 million. This is 5 times larger than the Twitter news. This is potentially huge news because a lot more people have exposure to sending, receiving cryptocurrencies than they did previously. That's going to be big, which brings us to this chart right here. Now, I made a video a couple days ago. I said Bitcoin's repeating itself exactly to a T. We're seeing this theme going on over and over again, how Bitcoin keeps repeating itself. Now, Bitcoin right now has been trading sideways for 304 days. The last time Bitcoin did this was back here when it was at the $10,000 area before the price shot up. Well, at the end of that $10,000 area, we had this coiling, and once Bitcoin found support on top of that coil, guess what? Bullish megaphone all the way up to new insane all-time highs. Well, guess what? We have a little bit of a coil happening right here. We have Bitcoin finding support on the top of this coil right here. Well, guess what? We have another bullish megaphone forming. And as a matter of fact, if we take the previous little pattern, this bar pattern from right here, and we just expand it a little bit, guess what? It brings us to $97,000 by January 5th before the price comes back down to 54 by March. But that's not all, because the bullish megaphone is only a bullish megaphone until the pattern breaks out. Now, oftentimes, more often than not, the pattern breaks up above these bullish megaphone patterns. And if we take a look at what could potentially happen, this is Trading Shot saying that Bitcoin is right on track for $200,000 by mid-2022. So we go over here on the right, looking at 2011 to 2013. We have Bitcoin price coming up to the 1, coming back down, and then we have a last shakeout at right here, the 1.618 fib, and then blow off top at 2.382. Okay, that happened there. Again, 2014 going up to the 1, coming all the way back down, shaking out at 1.618 before blow off top to the 2.382. Well, fast forward to right now, and if we take a look, we have up to the 1, coming all the way back down, shakeout, and then last shakeout at 1.618 before we blow up to the 2.382, which is roughly $250,000 Bitcoin, anywhere between January and August of 2022. So this could be a very exciting few months coming up, because despite people thinking that the price has crashed recently, if we take a look at a longer time frame, TechDev says here, dips are when the really long-term charts come out. So the Bitcoin yearly, where's the dip, huh? Tell me, where's the dip? Yeah, it happened a little teeny bit from 2018, 2019, but for the most part, Bitcoin on a yearly time frame just goes up. So that being said, guys, put on your big boy hodl pants, just enjoy, because Bitcoin is a ride that goes up and cryptocurrencies along with it. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Like the video. Just push the like button. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Peace.